We're going live. We're going live soon. We're going live soon. We're going live soon. We're going. Is EJ in yet?
I don't think so.
It's okay. Ah,
We'll keep that secret, what we just said, Michelle, as we go live.
Oh, we lie.
Secrets. It is.
Oh dear me, that is so funny.
And then see. Sorry, I'm trying to sort my camera out. See, what's that?
Go back to where's the click?
Yeah.
Use.
One moment.
Sorry, which one? That's my phone. So it uses the camera on my phone then. But that's not what I want to do. Sorry, everybody. Hope we're not. Are we live? We're not live, are we?
I think we might be.
Right. Can you hear? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now there's no feedback, so I've turned off the music. Oh God. Hi everybody. If you're seeing us here, it's our first time coming on to YouTube. Thank you. And yeah, so the feedback. So I've turned on the music so we can hear ourselves on Zoom, but we are streaming into YouTube, and it looks great. We just need to find out what's happening to EJ because EJ is.
I'm here. I'm just trying to sort my camera out.
Okay, cool. So, welcome to the panel. I'm calling it the panel because I literally don't know what we're calling it. So, we're calling it the panel until otherwise. But anyway, here are four amazing women who are changing the world in their own way. And I want to start with introducing Liz Bateson. Hello, Liz.
Oh, hello, darling.
And we have got EJ McDougall. Hello, my God.
Hello, can you see me?
We can see your gorgeous face, but you're not
can
moving.
you? Great, because I can't see myself. So great.
No, but you're not moving. We've just got your beautiful picture there. But that's okay.
It's a good freeze.
It's actually a really good picture, actually. And we've also got Rochelle. Hello, Rochelle.
Hello.
Hello. So we're not going to introduce ourselves because we've already done that in the original episode. But how's everybody doing?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Not great for me today. I'm quite under the weather.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, so EJ's really ill and stuff, but she wanted to be here, which is really cool actually, because last week we missed Liz. Obviously we've got our own businesses to deal with as well and families to look after. So being here is an absolute treat. I'm good. I took my car in for a new battery today, got charged half the price, which was I know.
Winning.
I know, winning. It's the whole thing about, we should talk about this at some point, but it's the whole thing about building relationships and stuff. Like the more you build relationships, you can create amazing results for yourself.
Liz is good at that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
My favorite thing in the world.
I need lessons on that. I'm rubbish.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Amazing,
you're not.
Rochelle. You're an amazing.
You're better than
amazing
what you
sector.
think you are. Yeah. So today we said we'd talk about a couple of topics. So tests and challenges of life. Now, I last couple of years, anybody that will listen, I'll tell. And I tell not for sympathy, but because when people I'm one of those people that when people see me, they think, oh my God, she's got everything, like she's got it sussed and everything else. And I like to remind people that everybody goes through tough times. And the last 2 years for me were when I felt like giving up. And it's not like I was gonna give up, but I thought maybe I should, maybe I should. I'm just wondering, at what point have you felt tested and challenged in life? Let's go to Rochelle.
Oh, I'm like, where do I start? Originally, when you first said that, I was thinking about more recently, and like January's been quite a tough month for me, in not financially or not. I've just felt like really low energy, and it's been when you're trying to run a business and you're the only person bringing in money for that business, it can be really difficult. And I probably could have just done with going, I'm just having January off and just relaxing. So I think I was actually just really at a stage of burnout. But then when I think back, I've got over a lot of really tough challenges in my life. So one that I think you both know about, my husband passed away in 2018, and when that happened, it was completely out of the blue. I'd got my 2 and 4 year olds to look after. So all of a sudden, I'd gone from being a mum, a wife, like a family. We'd got holidays booked. I was coming up to my 30th birthday. We were planning a party for that. We'd booked to go to Iceland. I'd got all these plans in place, and then all of a sudden, in just one day, my whole life was turned upside down. And like it was obviously a big, massive shock. And then I threw myself into planning the funeral as sort of well, you have to do it, but also it was a big distraction for me, which I was looking for. But then once I got over that, it was like, what now? Like, what's the point of my life? Why am I here? What's my future going to look like? All of a sudden, I was in a state of real uncertainty, and then I think we talked last week about shame and things like that, and the judgment that was cast on me when I started to get lonely, and I thought, right, I'm gonna start talking to people. And my friend encouraged me to join a dating app, and you got half the people who were like, yeah, go for it, and the other half that were like, it's way too soon, and it's that when is the right time after you've lost someone and you've gone from being in a family unit to then start essentially moving on, a time when you need people to be there and supporting whatever decisions it is that you need to make to make yourself feel more human again. A lot of people sort of turned their back on me because they didn't agree with the way that I was moving forward with my life.
I,
So
I didn't know you were going to go down that road and stuff. And it's something, again, it's something that it's something that a lot of people don't know about you, but and you could never tell either, and what have you. And it's so funny because because you and I are accountability partners, so we get to see each other at our worst and at our best and stuff. And it's so funny because sometimes I look at it and go, how does she cope? Because sometimes it's like the smallest things that sort of like you're going, oh my God, and stuff. And I'm like, I feel like you're resilient when you need to be, if that
yeah,
makes sense and stuff. And then in other times, there you are, EJ, there you are, and stuff. It's, do you know what I mean? It's like it's almost
that's
like when
it.
you
I
need to
think
be.
it's only when something really bad like that happens to you that you realize how strong you actually are. And yeah, I probably like overreact to really small things. But I can, and I think to be fair, it's been the same in everything in life. The big things I can deal with, the little things, I just lose it. Like on Friday for our accountability call, I did it from bed because I was just like peak burnout. So I just had to lay there talking to Victoria on my phone.
And Chris, her partner, walked in and he goes, "What are you doing?" She went, "Ah, I've had a tough day."
Oh,
And
He
you
was
can
like, "Do
see
you know that you're in bed?" I'm like, "Yes, I very much know it. I'm making the most of it."
what about you, Liz?
oh well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Rochelle and I have been at each other's worlds for a long time, and I just can't imagine. I can't imagine what you went through, and to bring yourself back from that, like you said, it shows so. It shows you have people have to go to their bottom to really see what they're about. And I had something, it was literally 5 years ago. I was just before I'd started High Net Connect, my community, I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was doing property, I was running other communities, I was raising finance, I was doing all this stuff. And I had a real dark night of the soul because, like you said there, Rochelle, everything just kept going, everything was going wrong. And I was like, what's the point? Like, who am I? Why am I here? And I just wanted to just stop everything. And like you're saying, Victoria, I just wanted to stop. You just want to sort of like take a break from your life. You're like, you know what? I don't even want to be me. Can I just be someone else just for a little bit, just to take a rest? Because this is BS. And I had that about 5 years ago. And I think I've said it before, so it's not a secret, but I was just having a literally breakdown on the floor, breakdown, because everything just kept going wrong. And this is why I'm always I'm always really clear when things are going wrong and when things have happened to you that are completely out of your control. There is always a way out. There is always a doorway, a door that you don't even know is there. I'm just looking at these doors here. Like, I didn't know that door was there. I had no idea. And I literally got down on my knees and prayed. I don't even know what I was praying to. I got down on my knees and I just said, what do you want from me? I've tried everything. And I got the one word, which was community. And I didn't know what that meant. And that's the last thing I wanted to do. And I just said to Rochelle before I came on here, like, when things are just going wrong, a lot of us completely understandably want to withdraw. We don't want to talk to anyone. We want to hide under our duvet. I do a lot of my meetings from bed, actually. A lot. I approve of the bed office. I feel that it's human nature to just want to stop, to hide, to withdraw. And part of that is renewal and recharging, and I get it. But I've been having a hard time in the last week or so because my back's been really hurting after I injured it. And I was terrible yesterday because I didn't speak to anyone. Today, started speaking to people, started connecting, started getting back in my community. The whole world, the weight of the world is lifted. So my point to that is, don't ever suffer alone. And I don't think it was too soon, Rochelle. You got the most amazing partner. Like, Chris is just like, isn't he just gorgeous?
He is lovely.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So connection, no matter what, even when you're in the depths of it, just connect, just speak, don't be alone, because it's so much harder when you're on your own.
Oh, thanks, Liz. EJ, I don't know if you heard us, but we're talking about tests and challenges in life. So at what point have you come across life where you felt, I want to give up, like I don't know how I'm going to continue?
You can all relate to this one.
It's the African. That means so much.
Exactly. Like, whoa, what a question. Yes, I've had those times. Quite a few of them, actually. See, about same like you, Liz, about 5 years ago, it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And mine is coming from a point of a marriage that just wasn't working. You know, you grow up and in your mind, you know what your life is going to be like. You're going to have the children, the husband, the picket fence, the dog, the nice house, all of it, you know, ballet lessons, swimming classes, those kind of, just what you read in storybooks, perfect. And I'm a believer in fairy tales. I still believe that, you know, that perfection in terms of joy and being happy is possible, but it just wasn't happening for me. My health wasn't great. My marriage, I'm laughing now because my marriage was shocking. Absolutely the opposite of everything it was meant to be. But for the sake of shame and stigma and what people would say, I hung in there for longer than I needed to. And that was what was making me sick, because now I'm not happy. So my body is not functioning like it should. My children live in a tense household. You know, I'm not being my best self and turning up to work, so I'm not getting the results I want from that. There's a whole identity crisis going on, and it all just wasn't working. And then I have this thing where I ask myself, am I going to cheat myself out of a life? Am I going to cheat myself? Like, if things are not going well, why am I not stopping? I'm not stopping because of what other people will say. So I'm going to let those people, I came up with a saying, actually, shall I abandon my bliss for your approval? Shall I abandon my wholesome happiness and whatever, you know, lights me up? Shall I abandon that just so you can be comfortable? No. So turning point for me was during COVID, when I just said, okay, enough. Absolutely enough. And I'm going to have to weather the storm. I'm talking of stigma a lot because of my African background. It's such a big deal, you know, a marriage coming to an end is such a big deal where I come from. It's such a, you know, so in my mind, I thought, for my sake and for my children, we're going to be happy. And being happy means not being in this situation anymore. And do you know what? My life just completely changed. Completely changed. Got a promotion at work, suddenly became a speaker, and people are inviting me all over the place to speak. My kids are doing amazing. I love my home, and I still have those days. But that one decision, I'm not saying people should leave their husbands, by the way. That's
I
not the
did.
message. That's not the message here. Don't leave your husband. Just find a husband that's good. You know, like you're talking about Rochelle's partner. I'm with someone now, been together 3 years, and I've never had a bigger cheerleader. I've
Oh,
never had someone who's nurtured me. I've never known that. You know, you're a strong African woman. I've never actually been the one to be looked after, and it feels amazing. So I think what I'm trying to say is when things are not going right, it's not always a case of you must never give up. Sometimes it is because we need to give up.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
we need to know the difference. Are we in this situation because something needs to stop, or are we in this situation because this is the darkest hour before dawn? If it's the darkest hour before dawn, by all means, push through because light at the end of the tunnel. But if you are in this situation because something needs to stop, then you need to identify what needs to stop because it could be the key to everything.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mhm.
It's really interesting because when I look at my point of stopping, I still think I'm going through mine actually and stuff, and it's quite an interesting space because up until 7 years ago, I was this, you know, professional high flyer luxury travel, like literally you could be talking to me now and then a few hours later I'd been in a different country and stuff. Like life was amazing, and then you buckle down when your purpose starts to come up. And I believe that your purpose comes up at any time, that thing that you were born to do. Like after a while I believe that God just turns around and says, do you know what, you've messed around enough. Now's the time for you to do what you came on this earth to do. And I've gone through bits of where I was almost homeless, not made any money. Did I didn't lose money. The money, I spent the money that I had, and nothing was coming in. So, and actually, I always remind myself to give myself a pat on the back because during lockdown, I realized that a lot of people were only like a month or two away from a paycheck away from being broke, and I lasted 2 years before I could actually say I was broke. So I was like, actually you did okay, but either way and stuff, it's like there was a point where there was no money in the bank account, and I've had to rebuild. And there's that whole thing of shame. You've talked about shame, embarrassment, people telling you what to do. So the people go, well, just go out and get a job. Energetically the jobs weren't coming in, and it was only when I went and got anointed in Africa, which is a whole different story, when I then thought, oh my God, I need to take this seriously because it is now my job to heal people and make them fall in love with their life. And I was like, well, I guess I need to start a business. And even that has had its trials and stuff. And it's just, there's always been stuff and it's never gone back to the way it was. But then how can it? Now, because if it goes back to the way it was, then you're without purpose. So I've felt like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing or what's the best way, and am I serving people properly? And it's really interesting because up until summer last year, I'd never met Liz. Never, I'd heard about her, never met her. And it's interesting how she's now in my life, and she's a big community person. And you don't know this, but I watch you speak to your community, and I go, huh, that's how you do it. Because there's a there's a way there that just makes sense in the community aspect and service. And that's the prayer that I always pray. I pray for wisdom, and I pray to serve my community better, and pray to serve them well and what have you. And there have been times when I've gone, am I doing the right thing? And my teacher will say, yes, you are. And I go, okay, okay. And I know I'm doing the right thing because of the results I create for people, but there's still that gap of where you were, which wasn't necessarily happy or great, but you thought you were, to where you're going, which is very unknown, and it can really shift you. So it's interesting how I think for all of us, the uncertainty is the
Mm.
common word, isn't it? And stuff. It's like you give up because of the common word. Now,
It's almost like sorry, you need a good balance of uncertainty, don't you? Like, I like uncertainty, I like the excitement of it, but then when there's too much of it, you just you feel terrified, you don't know where anything's going. So it's getting that balance right between where it goes from being exciting to where it goes to being terrifying.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
listen, if I don't know if you know Maslow's needs or hierarchy of
Yes.
needs, where
Yes.
where you talk about your six human needs. They do
Yes.
say you need an element of certainty and an element of uncertainty. You need connection, which is, you know, what Liz has talked about. You need love. You need love and connection. You need significance. You need growth. You need collaboration. So those are the six that come into it. But I've had to this year especially. And Rochelle will know this because the energy has completely changed around what I'm doing. But I've had to literally lean into, I am certain that this will sort itself out and it will work and I'll do everything it takes to. And I've stopped worrying about the uncertainty of it and enjoying the uncertainty because otherwise, I promise you, you're just living from a place of fear. I was scared about I was scared about what wasn't being done, what was being done. I was worried about what people were thinking. It's like, it's almost like, do people know that I didn't, achieve, or in my perspective, achieve anything this month? You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, oh my God, how transparent is this? Because you're going through something and you just assume other people are listening, if that makes sense and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm waffling.
Yeah. So to add to what you're saying there, Vic, I know exactly what you mean because you know who you are in your soul. You
Yeah.
know what you're about. You know what you can achieve. You just need to get there. But that doesn't mean before you get there, you are still that person. And the worry is the people who are seeing me, they're seeing me be that person, but do they know that I haven't made the journey to that place yet?
Yeah.
Do they know that this is me because it's what I'm about? But do they know? And it's almost like, am I a fraud? Because
That.
do they see that I
Imposter.
haven't
Imposter.
taken that journey to that thing I'm telling everybody is possible? And that is absolutely natural to feel.
Mm.
And I think a lot of us have been there. I'm there because, like I say, me and my fairy tales, I've decided I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to enjoy the possibilities. That's the way I put it now. What is possible for me? Absolutely anything. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to enjoy the possibilities because the how, and we said this a couple of weeks ago, the how is not our business.
Amen. Amen.
The logistics of it all and how it's going to happen. You know what? Liz, you said you got on the floor and prayed and you got the word community. And that is what you are fantastic at. You did the getting down on the floor to pray.
No.
The word community came and somehow you've made it work. So I think per time in the stages that we are at, our job is to be open. Our job, Vic, you're the guru with the intuition. Our job is to lean into the intuition. Yesterday, I was on the road. Oh God, it was horrific. I got back home about 11 p.m. I mean, you can see how I look. I feel really unwell.
You look
I got back.
amazing.
You look
God,
great.
thanks. I got back home about 11 p.m. on the train. So I live near Liverpool and I was somewhere in Oxfordshire. So the other side of there's like a whole different land there. Sorry, I know you guys are down south. Are you down south? I don't know. Anyway,
No,
Yeah.
what I'm
Midlands.
trying to say is I was on the train coming back home and I was thinking, gosh, I feel so unwell. But then I smiled and I thought, EJ, get you coming back from a trip where you've been invited to speak to some big corporate organization and there's 200 people in the room waiting to hear you speak. When I was a child, I didn't want to be a speaker. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
The whole speaking thing seems to be what I'm good at. It's
Mm.
now paying my bills. Who knew? Who knew? But what did I do to achieve that? I just one step at a time. I like the community example, Liz. I'm going to use it again. Sorry, and then I'll shut up. But for me, I did a rant on Facebook. At this stage, I knew that I wanted an alternative source of income because I have my 9 to 5. I knew I wanted a business, but I'm not a business-minded person. I don't know how to run a business. I'm now a single mom and I need another source of income so I can feed my family. So I did a rant on Facebook about something that was going on in the news. Just my usual Facebook. Next thing you know, that thing I said, someone said, oh, do you know, you made so much sense. Do you want to come and say it? We have an online meeting because this was during lockdown. Can you come and say it to my team in the office? Really? Oh yeah, just log on to Teams. And I said it, and so someone else was like, oh, I've never thought of it. I've never thought about it that way before. Can you come and say it to us as well? And from there, all of a sudden, I'm making business cards as a speaker because
Amazing.
the how wasn't my business. So I think what I'm trying to say before I shut my mouth is at each stage that we are in, whether it's a wonderful stage or whether it's in the darkness and it's in the broken stages, I think there is a message and a little thing that we need to do that opens doors. Just that little thing. And we just need to identify what those things are and not disregard them. Don't belittle them. Don't make small of the little wins because it's in those little things that the big things come out from.
Thank
And
you.
that's me.
Thank you so much. Have we got 10 minutes for another topic? How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm good.
We're fine.
You good? Okay.
Good.
So since you're fine, I was just going to top up on that and say, they say you have to go through all the 4 seasons to get to where you need to go. So, like a plant, you need to go through the thunder, the spring, the rain, and the sun to be able to grow. So, and sometimes when you're in the thunder or the winter, you just need to weather the storm, right? You weather the storm and then keep moving on. When have you been mocked about your beliefs? The reason why I say this, and I've sort of like changed it around a bit, but yesterday Rochelle posted something that she got trolled about, and it wasn't about necessarily a belief, but it was her perception of something, and she used it to communicate online. But I thought, actually, well, let's take it broader because not everybody has been trolled. Um, so I'll go with Liz on this one.
I've got so many examples. I'm gonna have to niche. I have to niche down. Oh my God. I love to quote. I don't think you ladies are old enough, Rochelle. I'm sure you're too young to know this.
Okay.
But there's a Prince Charming, Adam and the Ants. There's a line in his song Prince Charming that goes, Prince Charming, ridicule is nothing to be scared of. And I fully subscribe to that because just like you, EG, I literally started my career in entrepreneurialism by ranting on Facebook about all the injustices, all the crappy training programs, all the ways that people got conned. I lost 6 figures when I first started out because I didn't have a clue and I was taken the piss out of. So anyway, I rant and I share my opinion a lot, which means I do get trolled. And I mean, you'll probably, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll still see me getting trolled on other people's posts where I've shared my opinion and they don't like it or whatever. It's common and it's been there my whole life. The one thing that I have become braver with now is one of the things that I started off life being in, don't worry, it's not a life story, I'm not going to go there. I hate it when people do that. But I started off life very straight, A star, maths, accounting, investment banking, all of the things I was supposed to do, like you said, EJ, back in the fairy tale. And it didn't go well. And then I decided to learn alternative energetic therapies, homeopathy, shamanic work, working with nature and things like that. My God, the trolling I got from my own family. They were like, are you insane? My colleagues like, why would you give up a great job in investment banking to go and do this? I literally couldn't have been happier when I was studying something that gave me, because I was cured of a lifelong problem through homeopathy. So I was like, I need to know how this works. The truth is, no one really knows how it works still to this day. But the point is that for me, it was my truth. And as soon as someone attacks your truth, Wow, it's quite it's a real dig. It's a real stab in the heart. So I regularly practice getting trolled because it makes me stronger and stronger and stronger. And I've had to stand up to my dad, to my boss, to my two ex-husbands, by the way. I got divorced twice, married again. Third time lucky. Every single time I decided that relationship wasn't for me, wow, I got trolled again. I got trolled from the community. I got trolled from my local community. I am now one of those people that actually welcomes being mocked. I welcome it because what it is I back myself. Even when I'm wrong, I still back myself. So the it's going to be part of your life, especially if you're going to put yourself out there in any way, shape, or form. And with the most deep respect and honor, I say, embrace it, enjoy it. Attention is the currency of this planet right now. Whether it's good or bad, you can always turn things to your favor. So I'm a fan of being trolled. Love it, enjoy it, give more.
I love that. Attention is the currency of our times. I love it, right? I love that. Um, so it's really funny because I'm looking at everything and I'm going, I've started recording as soon as Rochelle was speaking. I'm thinking, please God, let it still be on YouTube. It is, but I hope it stays on YouTube. And then the other thing is I need to figure out how to do is it the AI companion?
Oh
Is that what
yes,
yeah, I didn't do
transcript.
yeah, the transcript and stuff. So I've never done it before, so I need to learn how to do it. But hey ho, it will come. It will come.
Okay.
Um, that's really interesting that you say that. Let's talk to Rochelle because Rochelle can tell us uh about her experience yesterday, or was it the day before?
Yesterday. So first of all, I'm a massive people pleaser, and the thought of people like not liking me like, fills me with absolute dread. Like it's my biggest fear. I don't think I particularly let it hold me back.
Mm,
Um, but at the same time, occasionally I will hold back on posting from social media if I've got a strong opinion about something because I feel like, well, what if people reject me? What if people unfollow me? Like, I hate the thought of that. So yesterday, so on Monday, something really tragic happened in Sheffield where a 15-year-old boy was stabbed by another 15-year-old boy in the school, in their actual school. It was horrendous. And I've got my little girl's 10. She starts school in September, and I'm already very nervous about it because she's just so little. She still loves playing. She loves colouring and doing all her artwork. And I'm so terrified for her to start secondary school just in general. And then this happening has shook us even more. And then I've got my little sister who's 12 and she's at secondary school and not having the best of experience. Because she's different from other people, so she's been like abused on social media and like fights starting in school and all sorts, and it's just horrible. So I just wanted to vent a little bit and then also ask like what can we do to stop this. Like I want to be able to help and create safe spaces so that we're not worried about our children going to school. So I did a post about it on my LinkedIn yesterday, and like I knew it was a post that was going to get traction. I know what works on there and what doesn't, but I didn't do it from that place of, oh, I'm going to post this and I'm going to get loads of traction on it. It was, what can we do to change? And most people, like how you've just responded, if you've not heard about it, it's horrendous. And people were talking about it in the comments. But then one person said, using 15-year-olds now for marketing, using murdered 15-year-olds for marketing purposes. And I was shocked by it because I thought, not once did I mention my business in this post. This wasn't a business post. And then someone else started saying things like, oh, you shouldn't be posting things like this on a corporate networking and job site. So the majority of people who commented on this post were just normal people like us. And then you just got these few people saying the negative comments. But it just got me thinking about like that kind of thing would put me off from then sharing my beliefs again at a later point. And if we don't talk about these things and we don't use our influence as people who've got big followings and who are seen as influential people. Oh, sorry, someone's just tried to start calling me mid-conversation. And if we don't use these platforms to share our beliefs and start conversations and spread messages, then what's the point in even having that influence? Yes, I use LinkedIn for my business and it does very well for me, but that's not its only purpose. And I just think in all aspects of life, we're sort of damned if we do and damned if we don't. You'll see it a lot with celebrities where people are saying, oh, you've got a really big platform, you should be using this to help stop the war or in this country and help stop this. And then when they do speak out, then people start saying, oh, why are you talking about politics? You're a celebrity. It's got nothing to do with you. You shouldn't be voicing your political opinion. And basically, whether they say something or they don't say something, people are going to have an opinion on it and are going to say you're doing wrong. So I'm a big believer in then just doing what you feel is right, because you're always going to get judged no matter what.
Yeah. Thank you. EJ?
Has anybody heard of the concept of Nunchi? It's a Korean concept of like reading the room, but it's not just about reading the room, it's about being present in a place and using it all in your interaction. Yeah. And the way I apply it, I'll give you an example. I think in the person who wrote, I've heard this example when someone was talking about Nunchi, where she says, and someone's auntie says to her, what you said there offended me. And she's like, oh my God, auntie, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I said it like that. And then the auntie said, well, that's even worse. Don't be apologizing. So you offended me by mistake. It would have been better if you were so aware of what you said that if I come to you and I say I'm offended by it, you'd be like, well, I said what I said. You know? So for me, like you, Rochelle, I need people to love me. I need people, you not liking me breaks my heart. Yeah. But I know that the world will make you bend out of shape because you're trying to please this person, then this person doesn't like it like this, then you're trying to please that person. So what I do now, and I've said it recently on social media, if you heard that I said something in the last 2 years, yeah, I said it. Yeah. You may not like what I said, but I said it. I may not have said it to offend you, but I'm very aware that I said it. And I said it on purpose. And that is the way I have had to be. So that I'm not saying I don't make mistakes, because, oh my goodness, people have come to me and said, oh, you didn't think about it in this way. And my answer has always been, you're right, I didn't think about that angle. But I did say, when I said what I said, I meant it. And this is why I said it. This is what I meant, why I said it on purpose. Yes. So now that you've brought this other point of view, and I've considered your other point of view, that's a good point of view as well. Do you know what?
I still mean it.
I still stay where I am.
Yes.
Or, do you know, your point of view, actually, I've decided your point of view is better than mine. So now I'm going to choose your point of view. So I am on purpose choosing what you said. Yes. And I'm going to tell everybody, do you know, I said this yesterday and I absolutely meant what I said, but this person just said something else. And, you know, I think they have a good point. Yes. And I am now choosing because I talk a lot. So there's a tendency to just be flippant and things just fall out of my mouth. And then I'm getting in trouble left, right, and center. But now that I am choosing what I say may not be correct, but it is what I have chosen to say. So that's the way it's like. Liz, you say, I back myself up. Yeah. If you bring up a point of view that is better than mine, I will think about it. I will consider it, but that doesn't mean I will choose yours. I may, but I may not. But it's about me choosing. I think one thing about being trolled is we all grew up with values. And, you know, I love what we're doing here. We all grew up with values. And Vic, I think I've said to you before, I grew up in a very religious community. So the values were imposed on me. And that's absolutely fine. So, but then when I'm getting trolled for these values that were imposed on me, I'm finding myself a bit confused because these are not my values. These are values that were chosen for me. So I can't really defend them effectively because I'm just living life according to how I've always lived life. So I had to come to a point where I'm going to choose my values for myself. And I've ended up choosing some of those values that I was born with because they were actually good. But now I'm consciously choosing them, and I can say to you why I've chosen that and not that. I can say to you, if you're going to attack my, I don't know, if you're going to attack my belief in something today, that's okay, because I can explain to you that, yes, I was born in this community and we believe this, but I've chosen to hang on to that belief because this, that, and the other. Whereas before it would have been like, oh my God, I don't know why we do that. Oh, it's just something we do, but I don't know why. I'm not like that anymore. If I've chosen something, I've chosen it consciously. It's not very easy to be conscious and deliberate about every step that you take, but you can get there. So that when somebody is trolling you, you've already built yourself up. You already know that, listen, you're trolling me for something that I consciously chose, so you can go to hell. Literally, you know, you can go to hell. I made this choice. If it was something I fell into or I did it by mistake, then you find me trying to defend myself and trying to make it easier for you, you know, more palatable, more comfortable for you. But if it's something that I chose to do, I chose it. So
it's so interesting. Like I listen to you guys and I go, wow. Like Liz, I've told you about Liz's morning rants and stuff. It's hilarious. Like
I'm always trolling everyone else. I feel like I'm trolling the whole of my community today. This is the best bit about being in the community. It's like a family. I say stuff like my mum, and I'm like, my mum, you're wrong. And I'm sometimes wrong. And my community say, what the hell is that BS? Are you talking to me? And I say, yeah, I was. And then we just laugh. It's okay to be wrong.
It is okay. It is okay to be wrong. Yeah, it is okay to be wrong. I'm looking at it from my perspective. It's really funny because I and I actually was saying to myself, I recorded this because I wanted to do it as part of content, and I didn't know I'd be talking about it today. But um I I worry about rejection. Rejection for me is huge, huge. Um and it's it's not because I want everybody to like me, because I'm very much sort of like, listen, I'm old enough and ugly enough to know that some people take to you, some people don't take to you. I also have that belief that I can't imagine anybody talking about me when I'm not around. Like when somebody says to me, "Oh my God, we're talking about you," I'm seriously really shocked. I'm like, really? What about? Like, I don't see myself in that capacity where, and it's not derogatory. I just it doesn't compute. Like I'm thinking, you must have other things to do rather than just talk about me. So, so again, as a result, I am always, I can easily be very flippant, but as life has guided me, I have become very careful about what I say. It doesn't mean that I censor myself, but I look at it from, so for example, I have typed stuff before and it's been literally effing that and effing that and effing that because that's how I feel and that's what I want to say. But then when I look at it, I feel that it's based on my ego. So then I always ask myself, well, how does that, is that me serving somebody or is that me putting myself out there? I don't know if it's an age thing or whatever. So a lot, and I'd really love to think that my stuff isn't measured, but I've had to really go really deep. And I was saying to Rochelle the other day, I was like, my work has completely changed in how I'm speaking because it's getting more resonance, but also I'm inviting people to come back and have their opinion as well. Because it's not because I expect people to agree, but I want to be in a place of service. I know there's somebody in my family who always speaks for effect, and I don't understand it because to me I'm just like, you're just saying that, so I have to say something. And I look at that when I also see people writing and go, and I can always tell if somebody's saying it from a for effect or if this is really been bugging me. So with Liz, for example, I can always tell when something's been sat on her for ages. It's been sat on her and it's been sat on her,
and it just comes out.
It comes out and it comes out, which is fine. But it's that whole thing of, but I always say to people, I'm like, for me, I always have to think and go, why am I writing this? Am I writing this because it's giving me a place to vent? Or is it genuinely serving somebody? If it's serving someone, I'll put it out there. But I always sit on it first, and I am still sitting with myself to go, is that because rejection is a thing for you? So you don't get rejected? I hope it's not. But it somewhere down the line in my early days, it always was. So I would have so much to say, but I'd go, and I'd hold myself back. And now in my current work, and also because of my work, I have to be also very careful. I'm not in sales where I can go, oh, this, because at the end of the day, I'm that place where people come and feel at home. I'm that place where people feel safe. And one of the things that we study in spiritual school is to lean into your emotions. So when you're all where are you? And when you master your emotions, so the whole secret is not to let your emotions control you. So when they don't control you, you can take that energy, and I believe energy is everything. You can take that energy and hone it into a place of service. So I always look at it from a place like that. So I've never been trolled, and I don't know, can I just say, and I'm not saying it's because everything I've put out there has been agreeable, but I don't know if it's that, or if I've shielded myself from it, or if I just write the most boring content. Either way.
No way.
You got some people leaving. You got some people leaving your list the other day, didn't you? Because you caused some controversy.
I did. I posted in my audience. So I send out emails at least once a day to my audience. And I was a member of staff of mine when I used to work at Lambeth, passed away. He'd come in one day. I'd had a cold. He'd had he was limping, and we found out within weeks that it was cancer, and he eventually passed away. And my point was that leadership isn't just about making sure that you've got the right KPIs and you're balancing the books. It's also leadership making sure that this man's family got the support they needed, and they when we signed him off completely, that they had no further questions, and and also managing grieving colleagues as well, right? It's not just one dimensional. And people actually left unsubscribed. And
What?
yeah, they also, but here's the thing. Okay, so then I sit down and I go, I wonder why. And as I said to Rochelle, people will always leave when things are uncomfortable. For people think that death is the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. So it's like when you mention that, sometimes some people can't cope with it and they leave. But it was quite interesting that quite a few people left, so unsubscribed because of that. Oh well, that's my assumption anyway. But that email went out and then they unsubscribed, and it's like it's okay. It's okay. But and again, like EJ says, and like you say, Liz, is that if somebody came to me and said, oh, you said this, I would definitely back myself up. I'll always back myself up, but I always make sure that I always understand the intention behind what I post before I post it. And there have been times when I've posted stuff because I wanted to be seen, as in being visible. And the energy has been so low because it's all been about me. It's all been about me. So I always make sure that it's in service of somebody. Yeah, but there you go.
Yeah. Talking about that, Vic, I whatever people choose to post for, as long as you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
As long as you're deliberate about it. If you say I want to be visible for this post, go ahead, do it. Just you've chosen.
Yeah.
So run with your choice.
Very true.
A couple of weeks ago or so, I posted, because when I was going through my heartache, oh my God, I was bleeding all over social media, because that was just, I couldn't talk to my children, and it was just me and my small children at home. And I was going through hell. And that was my outlet. And there was no on purpose there. I wasn't even thinking, how dare you? That was me. And then after some weeks, I'll go and be deleting some things because that was a bit too much. That was a bit too much dirty laundry. But do you know what? Now there are times now some of my posts still look like that, but I've put them there on purpose. Like, do you know what? I'm going to say this today on social media. I choose violence. Let's go. But I'm doing it because I'm doing it on purpose.
You're standing by it.
Yes, when somebody challenges it, I'm more comfortable. I'm more comfortable to say, yeah, I said this.
Yeah, that's just accountability, though, isn't it?
I've chosen to say I did it on purpose. I knew what I was about to post, and I posted it. And recently, I posted something about decenter whoever it is that's causing you problems. Don't make them your focus. Shift them to the side. And I sort of said, I'm going to delete this post after I've put it up. But I feel each time I type it, I delete it because this is not me anymore. But it just won't leave. It just won't leave. So I feel like somebody needs to see this message, but I don't want to leave it on social media. So what I'm going to do is, and I said this on the post, I'm going to post all of this. When you are the person who has seen it, when one person contacts me to say, I've seen it, I'll delete it. I put it up and my inbox was flooded.
Yes.
People saying, please don't delete it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to delete it. I said I'll delete it. I'm going to delete it. But the number of people who came to me to say that was for me. That was for me. Oh my God. Someone else, some random person says, this is for my cousin. Please don't delete it. Just say, I need her to see this post. And then you can delete it. But the number of people, which made me feel fantastic because it was a choice I made. Before, when I was just, I'm suffering and my heart is broken. It was more like people were, oh God, here we go again. Oh,
Yeah.
EJ, come on. But now that I'm doing it with purpose and Vic, like
exactly.
you said, intention. I know the intention behind it.
Yeah.
So I can, troll me all you'll be sorry if you troll me, by the way. These days, you will be so
There you
sorry.
go, trolls.
Because you troll me like on a Saturday when I have time. Oh my goodness. You will never troll anybody ever in your life again.
Oh,
but it's about the
thank you.
intention, isn't it? The confidence to just choose what you're going with and go with it.
Thanks, EJ. Right, we've maxed out, I reckon. But thank you so much. Final words, Liz.
Yeah. I can't say better than intention. Every single time you say and speak up for yourself and you assert yourself online, offline, always back yourself. And it is okay to be wrong. We are all human. So just love yourself and follow your ears, not your heart. These are the thing these are the thing that we must follow. So even if you're wrong, listen, like EJ was saying, and it will get you to where you need to go.
Love that. Rochelle?
Yeah, so for me, I think it's okay to change your mind, and that's one of the things that kept popping up when a lot of you were talking. I think people get so set in the ways, and I've said I'm going to do this, and I can't step to one side and change my mind. But it's absolutely okay to change your mind, whether it's because you've heard somebody else say something and you've looked at it from a different point of view, or just because actually you just feel like changing your mind. Like, that is okay. and I just go back to that point of we can't please everyone, so just do what feels right for you. And I've loved this again, so I'm excited to keep going forward with you lovely ladies.
Well, we will see you next week. Ladies, thank you so much. It's always, seriously, it's a privilege. I'm not just saying that because we're on camera. You know how I feel about you. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Have you stopped broadcasting it to YouTube, Victoria? It still looks like we're live on YouTube. You've stopped recording.
Yeah, it stopped recording, but it's gonna play because it's streaming because we're behind.
All right, okay.
So it'll just keep on playing and stuff and what have you. What's everybody got for the rest of the day?
Bed.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. I'm going to see if I can walk for a little bit. And sorry, can you see me? Hello.
No, we can't.
Oh, no.
I thought you'd gone. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, she's gone.
Bless her. I'm speaking tonight in a Sheffield property event. So I've got that.
Very nice.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I saw that and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's nice when it's closer to home and I've not got to
Travel.
travel all the way to Belfast like I was at the weekend. But
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Well, I literally just came back from getting my car sorted. Um, and what am I doing? I'm drinking apple cider vinegar.
Mm.
Yes, I'm going to make myself something to eat. And then I'm going to get ready and start talking about my membership.
What's
no,
this 10
yeah.
o'clock curfew, Vic? Tell me, what's that?
So I could work. I'm that person where if I'm tired now, I'll go to bed and I'll sleep and I'll wake up and I can work till tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Easy. Because there's always stuff to do. There's always stuff to
Mm.
do. So what I'm trying to do, and I have been good at it this year, is go to bed for 10,
Wow.
just so that I am getting my sleep. I've put on so much weight in the last 5 years.
I
So
bet.
we should talk about this actually. Yeah, I've put on so much weight in the last 5 years. And as a result, I have um I mean my back's been hurting anyway before I put on the weight, but now I've got about 4 or 5 stone weight increase, a back that is absolutely just and what have you. And it's just getting worse. And cortisol levels are high. As I've said, I've had a really tough few years, especially the last two. So all of that. So I'm working at making sure that I go to bed at a decent time and I stay in bed and I get fully rested. So I don't necessarily have to have a nap in the afternoon.
Mm.
I've started eating more um, high fiber, high protein foods.
Right.
Um, because I'm in perimenopause, I will eat a factory of chocolate if you let me.
Yes.
So trying to sort of like stay away from all of that, but not necessarily starve myself, but stick with, if I'm having sweet stuff, have sweet stuff that is low in insulin and everything else and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, so it's just sort of like just a lifestyle thing more than anything else. But yeah,
Right.
I try and go to bed for 10. Yesterday it was 11. But the thing is I wake up at 6 so that
Right.
I can exercise at half 6, because at 7 o'clock I'm meditating.
Right.
So I meditate for different hours depending on what day it is. So I always try and do that, because like today I went to bed at 11, I woke up at 3, stayed up
Oh,
for 2 hours, and then I missed meditation and then I had to go get my car. But luckily we've got meditation tonight, so it's not too
right.
bad. But I try and have a structured day. Otherwise, I am the queen of no structure.
Yeah, me too.
You're like bed at 6, wake up at 3, do a full day's work,
Yeah, yeah,
nap
I
at
will do
10.
that. I will do that. Like, and because I love what I do, I will sit there and do it. But actually, the fact of the matter is and stuff, I want to get into that habit where, and I love get that excitement where around 9 o'clock I go, oh, I need to be in bed in an hour. I get
Yeah.
excited because I can feel myself closing down.
Time to, yeah.
Yeah, closing.
Right.
Otherwise, I will work all the way through. I'll go to bed at 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Not
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So it's not doing me any good. Yeah.
Mm.
But last night was one of those days where I was like, I've still got stuff to do. I've still got stuff to do. I've still got stuff to do. And then as soon as I sent an email to you guys, I was like, right, I'm off to bed now. Yeah. But
Okay.
get
Right.
better soon.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
Rochelle,
Thank
break a
you.
leg for tonight, love.
Thank
And
you.
I'll
Yes.
see you.
Take care.
Are we on to see you later? Are we on for
Bye,
Friday?
ladies.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
darling.
we're on Friday. Bye bye.
We're on for Friday.
Yeah, Friday is good for me.
Okay. I hope I didn't record this at the beginning,
Oh yeah.
but I'm worried
You
that we
should be
might.
able to download it from YouTube.
I hope so. I really hope so. I really hope so. I feel like I should download it. Oh, we're still on.
I thought we were. I kept saying that to you, but you're like, no, we're not. Hello, we didn't say anything bad. Right, I'm leaving. I'll leave you to leave. See
Thanks. Thanks
you
so much.
later.
You're so caring. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.